Hello guys, once again, this is Mr. Victor with Learning with our Smartphones Tutors. In my previous video, I did try explaining how you can solve quadratic equations that don't have a coefficient of x squared. But now this time round, I'm going to show you how you can solve quadratic equations that have a coefficient of x squared using the factorization technique. Now, quickly to our catch, I'll pick a challenging question. So you have 6x squared minus x minus 40 is equals to 0. So to give you a heads up, now for factorization, we'll still use the same technique from my previous video of the sum and product. But now this time round, our product is going to be a little different now that we have the coefficient of x squared, which is 6. Now this is what we do. We take that coefficient of x squared and we multiply it with the c. Remember, we said all quadratic equations have a general form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. That's the general form of all quadratic equations. Now this is what you then do. We take the 6, the coefficient which is now in place, we multiply it by negative 40. And now our product is going to be negative 240. I hope you agree with me, right? So that's our product. And our sum should be the coefficient of x squared. Now for convenience purposes, I'll just add a 1 there. So it's basically negative 1. So let's focus on the 240. Which two numbers could we possibly multiply and they'll give us 240? Okay, now let's try all the possibilities. Let me use a different color. So we can either have 8 times 30, all right? That's 240. Or 80 times 3, that's 240. Or you could also have 60 times 4, that's 240. Or 4 times 60, that's 240. We could also have 12 times 20. 12 times 20, that's 240. Or you could also have 120 times 120 times 2. We could have 120 times 2. We could also have, yeah, so those are the possibilities. Now help me out. Do you have other possibilities? Two numbers you multiply and they'll give you 240. And their sum will be negative 1. Do you have such numbers? If you add them, they give you negative 1. Do you have such? Quickly, I give you 1 second to think. I said I'm picking a more challenging one. Did you get it? Did you get it? Now, to get in case you get a challenging question like this, the best approach would be to do factorization method to get our factors. So let's try. So we have 240. So we get, we have 2 by 120. We have 2 by 60. We have 2 by 30. We have 2 by 15. All right. and then you have 3 by 5. Okay. So can you now, using that, try getting the factors? And you have it. So we can pick another one here. You have 15 as another factor. So now the factor tree opens up everything. So you can take 15 times 16. So 15 times everything here, that gives you 16. The factor tree can give you all the possible combinations, right? So you can try anything. So we have 20 times 2, 60 times 2, 30 times, 60 times 4, sorry. So 60 combines with 4, like this. So 20 combines, 2 combines with 120. Then this one combines with those ones. Then this one combines with everything there. All right. With everything. All right. Then 15 combines again with everything there and so on. Now, those are the possible factors, right? So we have it there. So 15 and 16 will give us a 1. So that the factor tree has gone a long way to help us. So I'll just wrap that, our tree, since we have our factors. Yeah, there. So we have our factors, so no problem now. So we have 15 and 16. So now let's see which one becomes more negative for us to get a -1, because now the sum should be -1. Now that means the 16 will be negative. So it will have a more negative and a less positive to give us a negative value for our coefficient of x. So replacing the x with the two factors, you're going to get then 6x squared minus 16x plus 15x minus 40 is equals to 0. Then the same thing we did for the other one, we group those two, So what is common here? We get 2x. 2x is the common factor right there. So we open the bracket, that gives us 3x, so that you can get 6x squared, and then minus 8. Then, of course, now in this second bracket, we must get 3x minus 8. We must get that. So then the work becomes now to find what we factor out, and that is obviously positive 5. All right, and then is equals to 0. So now combining this and that gives us 2x plus 5, and then the repeat values inside the bracket. So we get 3x minus 8 is equals to 0. Now let's now solve. So 2x plus 5 is equals to 0. Using the subtractive property, 5 goes on the other side, becomes a negative. So 2x is equals to -5. Divisibility property over 2 and over 2. 2 and 2 goes, and you get the first value for x will be -2.5. Okay, that's the first value for x. Now, our second value, we take the second factor, which is 3x minus 8 equated to 0. Then the 3x, use the additive property, add 8 on both sides. That gives you +8. And then divide by 3 and divide by 3. That and that goes. So our x becomes 8/3. No need of putting it in decimal form. So you can just leave it as 8/3. So we have the two values. X is that and x is that. So then we can say, so x is equals to -2.5, or my or looks a bit weird, or x is equals to it's +8/3. Like I told you, all quadratic equations will give you two solutions for the working you do. So that is how you solve quadratic equations that have coefficients, a coefficient of x. Okay. Now I gave you some work. Lisa, you can put in case you get stuck or anything, just put a comment. But now this is your literal assignment. Now you try out this. And in the comment section, you can tell me if you're able to get the right solution. Now, this is now a similar question with a coefficient of x. So we have, solve this one for me. So you have 2x squared. Let me use a different color for more clarity. So we have 2x squared plus 13x plus 15, of course, is equals to 0. Is equals to 0. So solve this one for me, my dear viewers and students. And in the comment section, you can tell me if you got the right answer. All right. So thanks a lot for watching. Please like, share, right, and subscribe now so that you can always get updates of my new videos, which will be helpful on your academic journey. Now, if you're a teacher, of course, again, this can help you when you're teaching your students. If you're a student, of course, now this is also going to help you. So please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks again for being with me. Goodbye.